Hello there and welcome back. Tonight we will journey into the quiet miracle of axolotls, those curious aquatic ambassadors of regeneration, whose every subtle movement and gentle demeanor beckon us to uncover the secrets they so calmly carry within their slender forms. Imagine a softly lit underwater realm, cool and hushed, dotted with strands of aquatic plants that sway in a mild current and reveal the faint silhouette of an axolotl as it glides by. This remarkable amphibian, native only to Lake Xochimilco in Mexico, has captivated scientists and nature enthusiasts for generations, not only for its endearing appearance, complete with feathery gills and a serene little smile, but also for its profound biological gifts, which allow it to regrow limbs, spinal cord tissue, and even parts of its brain without leaving behind any scars. The idea that such a small, unassuming creature holds such dramatic regenerative prowess has long fascinated researchers from around the world, prompting deeper studies into how the axolotl might help us better understand tissue repair and healing. Its entire life cycle, in fact, breaks the usual expectations for amphibians, since axolotls never fully metamorphose out of their larval form. Instead, they choose to remain in an aquatic state, breathing through those lace-like external gills that flutter around their heads like delicate underwater fronds. This unique refusal to undergo the standard amphibian transformation is one of many reasons axolotls are so compelling to scientists trying to track evolutionary pathways and the array of genetic signals at play. They present us with a living window into a phenomenon known as natony, which is the retention of juvenile characteristics well into adulthood. The biology behind all these adaptations is deeply entwined with the axolotl's genome, which is surprisingly massive, roughly 10 times larger than our own DNA. As researchers continue to examine how these countless genetic instructions offer such a robust toolkit for organ and tissue repair, each finding furthers our understanding of regenerative processes throughout the animal kingdom. The importance of that research extends far beyond mere academic curiosity, suggesting that careful, ethically conducted investigations could spark potential new breakthroughs in medical treatments for injuries and degenerative conditions. Nevertheless, in the midst of all that awe, we must remember that these creatures remain endangered, with wild populations lamentably shrinking due to habitat loss, pollution, and invasive species introduced to Lake Xochimilco. Despite the challenges axolotls face, institutions and conservation programs around the world have worked earnestly to maintain stable captive populations. Thanks to these efforts, scientists can investigate how axolotls manage to repair damaged limbs and tissues on a cellular level. Under a gentle glow reminiscent of water-filtered sunlight, you can almost see the faint lines of new cells forming at an injury site, silently weaving themselves into the missing tissue. Through careful observation, researchers have identified the formation of specialized cells that accumulate where a limb was severed. These cells, called blastomer cells, regress to a more stem cell-like state, reacquiring the capacity to become muscles, nerves, or skin, precisely as the body needs. The result is a seamlessly reformed limb, functionally and visually complete, without the scar tissue we typically see in other animals. It is a graceful demonstration of biology's adaptability, hinting that the same fundamental mechanisms might be latent in many species, even if rarely expressed as dramatically as in the axolotl. Moreover, a curious aspect of this amazing capacity is that the axolotl does not just regrow a simple version of what was lost, it reconstructs a fully functional replica, comprising bones, blood vessels, nerve pathways, and other intricate tissues, all of which coordinate flawlessly once the limb has matured. But observing this process invites contemplation about the evolutionary pressures that gave rise to such a deft response to injury, particularly since the environment where axolotls are found is comparatively stable. Lake Xochimilco's waters, though much altered from their historical purity, once provided a haven for a variety of species, allowing the axolotl to succeed by preserving a youthful form and pouring its resources into an unusually advanced repair system. Inside the axolotl's world, you might picture these ancient amphibians defying biology, calmly drifting among submerged roots and gentle currents. Their pale skin, often pinkish or mottled, catches the muted light, and their external gills billow softly, exchanging oxygen without so much as a splash. Their large lidless eyes, which can appear as tiny black dots on a smiling face, take in the environment with an unblinking gaze. There is an otherworldly stillness to them, as though every flick of the tail fin or slow paddle through the water was carefully measured. The quiet hush in their realm might lead an observer to wonder if being so calm is somehow integrated with their resilient physiology. Perhaps by never straining themselves too vigorously, these amphibians have created a biological niche to fine-tune regeneration at a slower pace, plumbing the depths of genetic potential that other species have either lost or never possessed to the same extent. Research has shown that this ability to remain in a juvenile state is regulated by hormone production and thyroid function. While most amphibians develop lungs and support themselves on land, the axolotl remains staunchly aquatic, sustaining its strong ties to the watery environment that nurtures it so completely. The absence of metamorphosis is a clue about the layered complexities of amphibian evolution overall. Though the axolotl is commonly described as an eternal juvenile, it can be prompted to metamorphose into a more traditionally salamander-like form through external hormonal triggers, yet such transformations are generally discouraged, as the final result shortens the axolotl's lifespan and undermines the distinct characteristics that make it so valuable scientifically. In the wild, axolotls use their specialized sense of smell and lateral line systems to navigate the shallows, tracking small prey like worms and tiny crustaceans. Their hunting style is understated, in keeping with their body language. Rather than lunging or dashing after food, they calmly wait for the right moment to snap their jaws on whatever morsel drifts nearby. This relatively easygoing lifestyle, aided by the calm surroundings in historical Lake Xochimilco, played a part in the development of that powerful standby limb regrowth. Living with sharp-beaked birds or other threats might have nudged this amphibian down a path where surviving an occasional lost limb was more beneficial than investing in speed or agility. Beyond the mesmerizing trait of limb regeneration, research has demonstrated that axolotls can repair portions of their spinal cord and even sections of brain tissue under specific conditions. That is something that for many organisms would be unthinkable. They do so by rallying a set of molecular signals that promote localized healing, summoning cells that rebuild the scaffold of nerve tissues. Synapses and functional neuronal connections reform, allowing the nervous system to continue operating as if no injury ever occurred. This power to restore nervous tissue is especially enthralling to scientists investigating possible paths toward human spinal cord or brain recovery, though it is critical to maintain clarity that such promise is strictly in the realm of research. Studying axolotls does not automatically confer a simple recipe for medical advances. Instead, it reminds us of nature's astonishing diversity of solutions, highlighting regenerative strategies that in simpler or partial forms might be mirrored in organisms that do not commonly exhibit them. Over the decades, Experts have explored whether the striking capacities of axolotls might lie in their immune responses, their cell cycle regulators, or the quiescent nature of their tissues. But as often happens, it appears to be a well-orchestrated interplay among genetic, molecular, and physiological aspects. Unlike scar formation in humans, where fibrotic tissue hastily seals a wound with a protective barrier, the axolotl's approach is to reinitiate growth. This begins with a wound healing process that quickly covers the exposed area with a transparent film of epithelial tissue, which provides an insulated environment underneath for the carefully choreographed dance of regeneration to unfold. What emerges from that foundation is not a random cluster of cells but a progressive recapitulation of limb development, echoing the embryological processes that first formed the limb in the developing young axolotl. Additionally, it appears that the immune cells of these amphibians actively work to create a pro-regenerative setting, cleaning up damaged tissue without excessively reacting as our own immune systems frequently do. Their remarkable genome, so much larger and more intricate than that of humans, likely contains regulatory regions that orchestrate this interplay in ways we have yet to fully decode. The complexity and size of the axolotl's DNA, once considered a barrier to study, is now more approachable with modern sequencing technologies. Step by step, scientists have begun to map its labyrinthine sequences, capturing glimpses of the regulatory elements that might hold the key to regrowth. As they piece together this puzzle, a clearer picture may emerge of how the axolotl fosters new tissues without venturing into uncontrolled tumor growth. This is a major consideration because cancer often co-opts growth signals in unintended harmful ways. Axolotls, on the other hand, seem to keep proliferation in check, enabling well-structured limb or organ formation with minimal errors. Their success, while not entirely understood, seems to balance between vital growth mechanisms and intricate checks and balances that intervene if cells stray from their intended program. That balance is a marvel conceptualized at the molecular level, but one can also see the results by simply watching an axolotl that has already regenerated a limb. Observers typically cannot distinguish the regrown limb from the original one. In calm lighting, you will see the same shape, skin texture and coloration, as if the limb had never been lost in the first place. This quiet brilliance serves as a testament to the synergy between form and function, reminding us that nature is capable of solutions that exceed our expectations again and again. As we consider how these mechanisms might have arisen, some researchers theorize that the embryonic cues, still present in the adult axolotl, have remained active because of its evolutionary inclination to remain in a juvenile condition throughout its lifespan. That might allow the organism to repeatedly unlock the developmental instructions necessary for limb formation, so whenever damage occurs, it is almost like replaying a portion of its original embryonic blueprint. Some amphibians can regenerate limbs to a degree, but few can do it as comprehensively as the axolotl, especially in adulthood. This persistently youthful physiology appears to be the linchpin behind their regenerative mastery. Meanwhile, we cannot ignore the pressing fact that wild axolotl populations are dwindling. Their lake habitat, once clear and rich with vegetation, has suffered from urbanization, pollution, and the introduction of invasive fish species. Variables like these drastically reduce the available resources for axolotls, who then either struggle to find enough food or become prey themselves. Though their regenerative skills can salvage a lost limb, they cannot replace a lost habitat. In an effort to preserve axolotls, Many conservation groups partner with local communities to manage the remnants of traditional canal systems around Lake Xochimilco. There is an emphasis on curtailing water pollution and replanting lost aquatic vegetation that can provide protective shelter. Meanwhile, in research institutions globally, captive breeding programs aim to maintain robust, healthy populations with stable genetic diversity. These programs not only support the potential for reintroduction into protected habitats, but also ensure a steady supply of axolotls for scientific inquiries that might shed more light on the molecular intricacies of regeneration. If you rest for a moment and visualize a single axolotl gliding through a gently rippling environment, it is hard to believe something so fragile in appearance can manage such bold biological feats. Their translucent skin often reveals subtle traces of branching veins or the outline of internal structures, giving us a light glimpse into the living architecture that fuels them. When they pause beside an aquatic plant, their frilly gills stand out, each filament layered in an orderly architecture that maximizes gas exchange. Bubbles of exhaled gases might occasionally escape, drifting toward the surface. The axolotl floats there, placid and unhurried, immune to the urgency felt by so many other creatures. In these slow moments, one can see the synergy between their environment and their physiology. They have adapted not for speed or ferocity, but for endurance and generative potential. It is a reminder that evolution wears many faces, finding solutions sometimes in a sprint, sometimes in a patient drift. In the quiet domain of Lake Xochimilco, it was the gentle pace that shaped a lineage of amphibians ready to address their wounds with the graceful flourish of regeneration instead of scar tissue. From a scientific standpoint, the axolotl can be thought of as a master key for certain biological locks by studying its gene expression, cell signaling pathways and immune system responses. We learn more about how some vertebrates might harness dormant repair capabilities in the future. Though the details are complex and progress is careful, medical researchers remain earnest but measured, recognizing the necessity of further studies before drawing any extensive parallels to human health. In the interim, the axolotl's significance stands out in evolutionary biology as well, shining light on how life can bend or suspend developmental phases to suit niche habitats. Their specialized adaptations open a window into how varied amphibian life can be when it is not constrained to the conventional route of metamorphosis. This in turn prompts us to re-evaluate certain assumptions about biodiversity, adaptability, and the inner workings of specialized genetic networks that collectively shape each organism's form and function. Still, for all that complexity, we can simply watch an axolotl drifting in its watery home, lulled by the small currents that pass through planted channels, and recall that even the quietest entities can hold the greatest secrets. Sometimes it is sufficient just to let that sense of wonder fill us, to reflect that rare life histories like that of the axolotl exist, humming with potential we have barely begun to discern. And so, as we conclude this gentle exploration, may you feel calm knowing you have spent some time under the surface of still waters, where a soft swirl of silt and plant life frames an ancient amphibian that defies these standard rules of growth and repair. Though it appears fragile and dependent on its watery refuge, the axolotl's legacy is one of steady resilience, sparking careful study and reminding the human mind that nature holds entire chapters of knowledge still waiting to be read. Their story resonates in the hush of the evening, providing a comforting note that tomorrow may indeed bring further insights into how cells can rebuild themselves with precision and grace. Thank you for joining me on this relaxed dive into the realm of axolotls, a place where a patient approach to life has yielded a hidden reservoir of regenerative wonder. I hope you can now settle softly into your own restful state, allowing your thoughts to drift away with the calm waters of Lake Xochimilco, where these gentle smiling amphibians stand guard over some of the most extraordinary secrets in biology. May your night be peaceful, and may your dreams be guided by a quiet curiosity about all the marvels hidden just beneath life's surface. Good night and sleep well.